Hello and welcome back to the Mysterious Thief Forget-Me-Not. Last time we finished chapter 4, although it looked like we are still with O'Malley on the next day after they had their talk with the thief. So let's continue. Walking into work this morning after everything that happened feels almost surreal. I barely got any sleep last night, as my mind was constantly playing that conversation with Desiree on loop, as if trying to prove if it really happened or not. But it did, and despite my sleepiness, I've never felt better. As I greet the other officers and put my belongings on my desk, Inspector Harrison marches his way towards me like he usually does.
Good morning, O'Malley.
Brace yourself. Oof. Good morning to you too, Inspector. After letting out a deep chuckle as usual, he clears his throat.
Before you get started on anything, I came to let you know that the Commissioner has asked to see you in his office.
I stop in my tracks, trying to hold back from showing how surprised I am on my face.
The Commissioner, sir? That's right. He wanted to talk to you about a couple of things now that he's back in the city.
Then I'll go right away. Thank you for letting me know, Inspector.
Of course, O'Malley. Any time. Now off you go. Don't want to make him wait too long.
Oh boy. Inspector Harrison continues on his merry way. Meanwhile, I put the rest of my things on my desk for later, eyeing the Commissioner's office on the other side of the room. I hope it's nothing serious. Well, maybe you heard about the revelation we had? With a quick knock on the door, I'm silently led into Commissioner Desjardins' office. While similar looking to the inspector's, the air the room gives off as you enter it is a night and day difference. You can feel the sheer authority the Commissioner holds, who, of course, is waiting near the desk.
Good day to you, Detective O'Malley.
I close the door behind me and offer a polite nod. Good day to you as well, Commissioner Desjardins. Inspector Harrison informed me that you wished to see me.
That is correct. I have a couple of things I'd like to discuss with you. To start off, can you confirm that you were working with Harrison the day before on organizing the files for the archive?
I feel the hair on my neck stand up as I fight my paranoia. Yes, I did. I worked with him the entire day to help him with his cases.
I see. Just as Harrison said, then.
He pauses for a moment, likely processing my answer, as I start to feel like this is less of a casual conversation and more like an interrogation. Yeah, I got that feeling as well.
I suppose I'll get to the point then. Detective O'Malley, what do you say towards the claims that you were seen copying files yesterday in the inspector's office while he left to see me?
I climb up, fighting off my body's desire to turn my face as pale as a sheet, before apologetically bowing with all my being.
I deeply apologize, Commissioner. So you admit these claims are true, then?
Yes, I do, and I sincerely apologize. I happened upon some information in one of the files that aligned with a theory of mine, and my curiosity got the better of me. My train of thought went nowhere, however, and I quickly deleted every instance of the copied files. I fully understand what I did was unprofessional, and am willing to accept any due punishments.
At ease, Detective.
His words snap me back into reality as I look back up at his stern gaze.
I appreciate your honesty about the situation. When Harrison came up to me with his suspicions the other day, even he was ready to chalk it up to just seeing things. While it is unprofessional and borderline unlawful, I am willing to give you a warning this time, due to your history and work ethic thus far. However, you will not get another warning if this behavior happens again. Understood?
Yes, Commissioner. Thank you very much. I give him another strong bow to show my appreciation, as a thoughtful expression crosses his face.
These past few years have made me realize that I overreact to things too easily. While there is no taking back what I've done in my life, I at least want to improve myself while I'm still here to make it up to the people around me.
He sighs deeply, a thought seemingly weighing on his mind, before looking back at me with that unchanging expression.
I'll be the first to admit, Detective, that I do respect your work ethic and how you carry yourself. It's much different than your predecessor. In many better ways. And as such, I can trust you with more sensitive information.
Sensitive information, sir?
Correct. I told you there are a couple of things I'd like to discuss with you. The file copying one was just the first. After some deliberation and a referral from the inspector, I decided to ask for your assistance on something more personal I've been working on the past year.
Of course, sir. How can I help? Commissioner Desjardins offers me a seat near his desk as he pulls out a file from his drawer and slides it my way for me to read. Finale. Forget-me-not. Okay. The attic, midday. It's another peaceful day at the Gallant Rogue. Crow is helping on Andre downstairs, and I'm up in the attic chatting away with Irina, who surprised me with a visit. We've been going at it for about an hour or so now, talking about anything that comes to mind. After seeing me working at Ramona's, Irina's been interested in how well I take care of plants, asking me dozens of questions with a cute sparkle in her eyes, which I happily answer. By the way, just pointing back to the last episode when I accidentally skipped the Ramona visit, at least I think that was a possibility, when I couldn't get back on the screen. The dev patched this upon seeing my playthrough. So there is now an update where you should be prompted, get this check-in, like, okay, are you ready to move on, that kind of thing. Apparently they implemented more of those checks now, which is nice. So thank you, and you're welcome. That's pretty much everything to it.
You make it sound so easy, though. It's honestly impressive.
It's definitely anything but. I've made my fair share of mistakes by not researching enough in the past. Like my first succulent that I accidentally overwatered so much it melted. Irina's taken aback, blinking at me for a moment.
Melted?
Yeah. Our chatting is interrupted by the sound of someone quickly climbing up to the attic. We both turn to look at who it is and see an unexpected face appear at the door. Desiree. Aiden leans on the wall, grasping their chests as they steady their breathing. There's something I need to... They pause as soon as they make eye contact with Irina, both looking equally shocked, until Aiden breaks the silence. I see. Well, don't just suddenly come in here, look at us together and say I see like you knew this from the start. Irina continues to stare at them, then back at me, her shock turning into worry.
Desiree?
I know. She immediately lets out an incredibly deep sigh before giving me an awkward smile.
You really haven't had the best luck with your identity as of late, haven't you?
Good point. Yeah, I'll explain later. Anyways, Aiden, what's got you so flustered? Right. I ran here to tell you. We're suddenly interrupted again by someone stomping up the steps. The playful rapping at the door immediately tells me who it is.
Hello, hello. I hope you two are having fun on your cute little date.
In an almost perfect recreation of the moment earlier, Crow stares at Aiden and back at us, his earlier joy turning into surprise. It quickly changes to an annoyed look soon after.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I'm just as pleased to see you too, believe me. If you don't mind, I have some important news for Desiree.
Oh, so now you're on a first-name basis, huh? You think just because you learned her identity that means you can waltz in here anytime you want like you own the place?
It baffles me how you're 8 years older than me, and yet you act like such a child.
Why, you?
I've had just about enough of their stupid bickering and let out the loudest whistle I can muster. They both immediately stop, then stare at me. Enough, both of you. You're both acting like babies right now. Turn to each other, apologize, and then... Shut up! The two share an awkward stare, then sigh in tandem. I apologize.
Yeah, me too.
I let out a sigh of my own, then turn back to Aiden. Okay, now tell me what this news is that's so important you ran in here. Aiden sheepishly adjusts their glasses, then clears their throat. I came here straight from the precinct after being called to the commissioner's office this morning. Oh, I didn't get you in trouble, did I?
No, you're fine.
However, the commissioner asked me for help with something that he's been working on. That is, helping your parents move back into Twin Bells. I feel my mouth hang open, unable to make a sound upon hearing what Aiden said. I look at Crow, who also looks just as shocked by the news as I am.
They're back? Since when? And how?
You also didn't know this? Crow shakes his head, looking a little upset. Well, from what the commissioner told me, they've been slowly working on this for a couple months now. He didn't feel comfortable if they moved back too soon, so he's been working on improving the security in your old place to ease his worries. That finally finished up just a couple weeks ago. I look to the writing desk, staring at the drawer that holds all their letters and postcards from all these years. That would line up with when they mailed out their recent letters to us. I can't believe they kept this a secret for this long. I notice Crow oddly silent in the corner, visibly deep in thought as he is presumably processing everything.
The letters. Hey, you two. Could I get some time alone with Desiree?
Sure thing.
Of course.
Irina turns to look at me, the smallest hint of worry flashing on her face near the door.
I'll be downstairs, okay?
Sure, thanks. With a quick nod from Irina, the two of them make their way down the steps, leaving me and Crow alone in the now empty and quiet attic. Crow doesn't say anything at first. He just saunters over to the writing desk, pulls out a letter from his pile, before sitting next to me on the bed. Is something the matter, Crow? He must have noticed the concern in my voice, so he flashes his usual cheery smile at me to try and ease my worries.
Oh, nothing's wrong, don't worry. It's just, well, considering everything, this might be a lot to take in along with the news. But, here, take this.
He hands me the letter he's holding, which I see is the most recent letter he got from my parents, as I read it to myself. Take care of my little phantom thief? Wait, no, you don't mean they... Crow simply nods at me, as I reread the letter a couple more times to be sure I read it right. You're kidding me. They've known? For how long?
Based on the letters I've gotten a month or two after you started.
I feel my face go pale as every risky heist and stunt I've pulled off these past few years plays in the back of my mind. So, they've seen everything I've done up to this point? Even the showboating? I feel a little faint.
Breathe, Desiree, breathe.
Amidst the panic of this revelation, a thought suddenly crosses my mind. Wait, hold on. I can understand why you'd wait until they were back in the city to tell me this. But it's odd even for you to explain it like this. You usually don't use such roundabout ways to tell me news. Crow lets out a sigh, a happier one this time, before topping it off with another smile.
You know me that well now, huh? Well, you're right, that's not the only important thing I have to tell you. The letter has something else.
Something else? I scanned the letter thoroughly one more time, double-checking everything my father wrote, before my eyes wander down to his signature. Or rather, his lack of one. In the spot where it should be is instead a little doodle of a rose. Why does Papa sign his letters to you like this? I've never seen him do that for anyone else. I'm suddenly interrupted by a stray thought, fueled by the odd look Crow is giving me right now, as I look back at the signature. No, that's insane. I'm overthinking this, right? Please tell me I'm overthinking this. That's my job, though. Crow simply shakes his head as he gives me a reassuring pat on the back.
You're not. It's exactly as you think.
That's insane, though. How am I supposed to believe this? That my papa is the Scarlet Rose? I again expect him to interrupt me, to tell me I'm wrong, to say anything, but he doesn't. He lets out a deep sigh, leaning back on the bed and looking like a huge weight was lifted off of him.
You don't know how difficult it was to keep this a secret from you this whole time. This is why I've kept my letters private, because I knew you'd get that idea immediately if you saw them. You've asked me before how I came to know your dad. Well, back when everything in my life went to shit, he not only gave me a place to stay, but also dusted off his old skills to steal some fake evidence that was gonna be used against me. It didn't take me long to realize how he accomplished that.
Listening to Crow makes the initial shock fade away, leaving me feeling confused and a little frustrated. But why wait until now to tell me all this? Why right when we learn that they're moving back?
I know it's a lot to take in at once, but believe me when I say that this felt like the best time to do so.
But was he supposed to? Like, does a father know that he's telling her? That's what gets me a little confused right now, but yeah. I did have a feeling that we would get a reveal on the Scarlet Rose identity at some point, or at least I hoped so.
Even your father agrees, saying just that in his letter.
I look back at the letter still in my hands as I stare at the line Crow is alluding to. And perhaps soon will be the perfect time for her to finally learn about that. Okay, that answers my question. There's an awkward silence between us before Crow interjects with a worried gaze.
Do you want me to give you some time to yourself?
I nod, and Crow gives me another pat on the back before leaving the attic. Now it's just me in here. The only sounds I hear are the faint noises of the city outside and my own breathing. The ambience feels unbearable amid my spiraling thoughts as my face crunches up from the frustration. Suddenly, I hear a light knock at the door. I shake off the gloominess to look and see Irina standing there with a concerned look on her face. "May I come in?" I give her a small nod, and she then calmly walks inside and sits next to me on the bed. There is another awkward silence at first, before I try to lighten the mood. Sorry about all that interrupting us and such. Caught us both off guard, huh? I let out a weak chuckle, but Irina's look of concern doesn't change.
"Desiree, you don't have to put on a brave face for me. It's all right."
I simply stare at her at first, but then let out a deep sigh. Sorry. I thought you went downstairs with Aiden.
I did, but I wanted to see how you were holding up. I may have accidentally overheard the end of that conversation earlier as a result. I'm sorry if I'm intruding.
No, it's okay. I appreciate you being here. And, well, I guess I'm just feeling super overwhelmed by everything.
It's a lot to take in at once. I don't blame you. But are you sure that's just it? You looked a little upset when I peeked in.
Yeah, you could say that. I can't help but let out a heavy sigh as I hug my knees. I'm just frustrated about all this news that I'm only now getting. I've lost count of how many times I wasn't told something important until the last minute because I wasn't ready to hear it. Sometimes I'm not even told at all, and have to learn it from other people, like Aiden just now. I hug my knees tighter, feeling my emotions boiling inside me. I know they mean well, but sometimes it feels like they don't trust me. And it hurts a lot. Irina takes one arm and wraps it around me, pulling me in and letting me lean on her shoulder.
This has been going on for a long time, hasn't it?
I nod, then look up at Irina, whose tender gaze helps the turbulent emotions inside me calm down a bit. I thought I was used to it by now, accepted that it was just how my family does things, but I guess not. Don't get me wrong, of course, I'm super happy that they're finally moving back to Twin Bells, and that they're alright. It's just, I don't know, couldn't they have told me this sooner than literally before they moved back? I sigh again. Sorry you have to see me like this.
Please, don't apologize. I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough around me to vent like this.
She lays her head on mine, her warmth making me feel more comfortable.
I wish there was something I could tell you that could magically fix all this. But in truth, I only recently learned to be more open about myself. Thanks to Crow and you.
That manages to make me blush a little as Irina continues.
Based on what you told me before, your parents seem like wonderful people.
They are, and I'm sure they'd love to meet you.
Oh, are we at that stage, yeah? Meeting the parents?
Even if they can be a little eccentric, they still mean a lot to me.
But you're worried that if you open up to them about this, they'll be upset?
Yeah. She then gives me a gentle smile as she holds me a bit tighter.
Even though it might take a while, you can take my word that it'll go much better than you expected to. I know that from experience. Until then, however, you have a lot of wonderful people around you who are more than happy to lend an ear. Myself included.
I can't help but smile back, leaning in a little more as the turbulence inside me finally calms down. We're silent for a little bit as Irina lets me rest on her shoulder while I organize my thoughts. I then look back up at her, feeling more in control of my emotions than before. Thank you, Irina. I really needed that.
You're welcome, Desiree.
We both get up from the bed as I take a quick glance at the photo on the writing desk. As I stare at it for a bit, an idea pops into my mind. I wonder, if he gets to be dramatic, then... Hey, do you know if Aiden is still downstairs?
I believe so. When I left, they were talking to Andre at the bar.
That works out well for me. Let's head down.
That look on your face, what are you up to now?
You'll see. Come on. What is she up to? The two of us quickly head down the steps to the empty bar. Andre, Aiden and Crow are all at the counter chatting away. Crow notices us from the corner of his vision as he turns around.
Hey, Desiree, you doing alright?
I'm doing much better, no worries.
That's good to hear. Let me know if you need anything though, okay?
I will. I turn my gaze to Aiden, who is still casually talking with Andre over some coffee. I lightly tap them on the shoulder to grab their attention. Did the commissioner tell you when my parents will be back exactly?
They did. Why?
I want your help with the housewarming idea I just got.
Okay.
Bella Chan's residence. Later that week, 2:50 a.m. The night of my parents' return to the city is finally here, and waiting for this has felt like an eternity. The nostalgic street I grew up on is as quiet as I remember, as most people are already fast asleep at this time. One home still has its light on, however, and that one would be my parents. Good they kept it on, just like I asked them to. I'm waiting patiently on the rooftops nearby, ready to surprise them with a visit from Forget-Me-Not. I figured that since they knew my secret, I may as well let them meet them in the flesh as a fun housewarming idea. As I stare at the place I used to call home, I'm reminded of my chat with Aiden at the bar.
You want me to sneak a calling card to your parents?
Yep. I figured since they were trying to be all dramatic with this reveal, that I get to have a little fun as well. You're the only person I can really ask to do this, so can you? They let out a deep sigh while shaking their head. You and your outlandish ideas. But alright, I don't see why not. Just what? Aiden puts their drink down, then turns in their seat to give me their full attention. Are you certain this is what you want? I know you and the commissioner have a strange relationship, but are you sure you don't want to at least see him? What a reaction. I'm certain. I know I don't need to tell you that you'll probably learn eventually. I know, but that talk can wait. For now, I just want to see my parents. Aiden takes a drink, then looks back at me with a determined stare. Alright, that's fine by me then. As I come back out of that memory, I check my watch, seeing that it's just about 3 a.m. I breathe in and out deeply, feeling more anxious now than I normally do before a heist. Well, this one's personal, huh? I then get back up, feeling the light May breeze blow by me as I hop on down to the street below. It isn't difficult to sneak inside the living room, especially since my parents left the window slightly cracked open for me. As I look around inside, I feel an odd swirl of emotions seeing the living room clean and orderly, the complete opposite of how I remembered from years ago. Before I have time to process them, however, I hear someone gently walk down the stairs. And at the foot of the stairs, I see a kind, smiling face I haven't seen in a long time. Oh, well, this is a surprise. I suppose that calling card must have been the real thing then. It's very nice to meet you, Forget-Me-Not. I do wonder, however, what you could want from our humble abode. My eyes start to get watery as she speaks, and anything I could even think of saying fails to come out. I try my best to hold it in, but that instantly fails as I turn into a sobbing mess. Mama. Oh, my dear Desiree, come here. Without any hesitation, I jump into my mom's arms, bawling even harder as she gently brushes my hair with one hand. I missed you two so much. Why did you leave without me? Why didn't you say anything about where you were? Let it all out, sweetheart. It's okay. She lightly kisses me on my forehead, then hugs me even tighter. We both missed you so much too, more than you can even imagine. These past few years I wanted nothing more than to see you again, and I'm so glad that finally happened. I feel the last of my tears fall out as my mom hands me a tissue to clean my face with. Do you feel better now, sweetheart?
Yeah, a little.
Sorry, I wanted to be cool and introduce myself like this, but I just... She giggled softly before taking off my hat to pat me on the head. Don't you worry about a thing. This whole setup was very exciting to look forward to. She gives me another soft kiss on my cheek before suddenly tugging on it. Ow, ow! But that doesn't mean you're exempt from any lecturing for all the outlandish stunts you've pulled up until now. I just about had a heart attack when we realized that the new phantom thief in Twin Bells was you all along. Do you have anything to say for yourself, young lady? I hang my head in shame hearing her go on like this. I'm sorry, Mama. With a small sigh, Mama gives me another warm hug. I will admit, though, that it was fun watching all the crazy heists you've pulled off till now. And I'm glad that you've been doing well this whole time. I hug her back tightly, still feeling the unbelievable joy from earlier inside me. After we share a quiet moment, I wipe away any tears left over to give her a determined stare. Mama, I know Papa's secret. You do? But who? She stops herself, letting out a deep sigh. Crow told you, didn't he? How did you know that? Isn't it obvious? Okay. Your father said that if you were to learn about it from anyone, it would be him. That man is something, all right. I can't believe he was right about this. I look around the living room, realizing there's no sign of him at all. Where is Papa? Didn't he also get my calling card? He did. Will he show up in his old costume, maybe? You know how he is, though. Always the dramatic one. What do you mean? Mama points to the back of her neck. Curious, I reach back to my own and feel something tucked in my suit. I pull out that something, which turns out to be a calling card from the Scarlet Rose, addressed to me. Good evening, Forget-Me-Not. It's not every day that one phantom thief gets a calling card from another, but I figured the occasion called for it. If you wish to see me, then you'll find me in a place my daughter holds all her memories in. I wish to see you there soon. Signed, the Scarlet Rose. I finish reading the card with my mouth slightly agape. A feeling I've never felt before takes over my mind as I stare at my father's handwriting. I look back up at my mother, who gives me a cheeky smile. When did you sneak this on me? It wasn't when I was bawling my eyes out, was it? I'll never tell. But that's beside the point. You know what he means, don't you, Desiree? I give my mom a firm nod, then look up the stairs. I hug my mom once more, with her planting another kiss on my cheek. Once you two are done up there, come back down here, okay? Okay. With a quick ruffle of my hair from Mama, I make my way up the stairs. I slowly push open the door to my room, a dull creak escaping from it as I do so. It's quiet up here, with not even any ambient sounds from the street outside due to how late it is. The lights are turned off, cloaking every bit of the room in darkness except for the spot near the window. There, the moonlight seeps inside, with a figure standing near the window being silhouetted by it. I lightly knock on the door, and they turn to look at me.
It's quite a lovely night, isn't it? Forget-Me-Not.
Despite the costume, despite the dramatization, and despite the overall flair, I recognize my papa's signature smile, which he's giving me right now. I feel my tears start to well up again, but manage to hold it in long enough to muster a response. Yeah, it is. Feeling my tears get heavier again, I go up to Papa and hug him. He hugs me tightly back and pats me gently on my head to comfort me. What took you so long? I fight back the lump in my throat from all my crying as I let everything out at once. Do you have any idea just how much I missed you two? Every letter we get just made me want to see you more. Why couldn't you tell me anything? I was so worried about how you were doing, where you were, and then you two suddenly come back without telling me. I just... Papa lets out a deep sigh as his hug gets deeper.
I'm so sorry, Desiree. We never wanted to hurt you like this, and it pains me so much that we did. While it was your grandfather's idea, we're also at fault for keeping you in the dark this long.
He gently brushes my hair, looking at me with a soft gaze.
I want you to know just how proud I am of everything you've done while we were gone. And I don't just mean everything with Forget-Me-Not, although all of that was also spectacular to watch. In the time we were away from Twin Bells, you've managed to slowly figure yourself out and find a place you feel comfortable in. Hearing from Crow and Ramona how well you've been doing, I feel incredible pride as a father. And I feel guilty that I wasn't there to watch all of this happen myself.
My tears get heavier with each word that comes out of his mouth, feeling both joy and relief inside me. There's a brief moment of silence between us before Papa speaks up again.
Desiree, you are my dear daughter who means the world to me, but you're also an adult who deserves to be respected. That's why it's finally time that I be more honest with you, to tell you everything. Will you let me?
His gentle yet uneasy smile makes it obvious just how nervous he is. However, I give him a nod, topped off with a smile of my own. I'd like that. I see the unease slowly vanish from his eyes as he ruffles my hair lightly.
Then let's go downstairs to your mother, so we can finally tell you everything.
What a way to reunite. I can't believe. I almost forgot. Please be there, please be there. Because of my parents' return, the days flew by much faster than I was expecting it to, causing me to almost forget about Irina's departure. I turn the corner and spot one of the coach buses, all the dancers lined up in front of it ready to board. Quickly scanning the line, I feel a sigh of relief as I recognize Irina's tall blonde figure all the way at the back, looking around worriedly. Irina!
Desiree!
She immediately drops her things and runs towards me as I slow down to try to catch my breath. I am so sorry that I'm so late. Bar busy, parents wanted to see.
It's all right. Take deep breaths. Here, have some water.
She pulls a bottle out of her purse, pouring some water into the lid and hands it to me. I drink the whole thing in an instant and give it back to her as I let out a satisfied sigh. Much better. I hope I didn't make you wait too long.
Not at all. You're right on time.
As I continue catching my breath, I eye the other dancers in line, looking at us curiously. Hey, who is that? I don't know. Maybe she's that new friend Irina's been talking about. They continue whispering to each other, and a soft pink blush appears on Irina's face.
I'm sorry. They really like to gossip.
Yeah, I can tell. Anyways, We still have some time, so let's double check everything we shared.
Yes, absolutely.
We both pull out our phones and scroll through them together, making absolutely sure that all the info we traded is accurate.
Looks good to me. It'll get a lot busier as our tour wraps up, but I'll try to text you every chance I get.
Same here. I'll text you as much as I can. As I put away my phone and look up at Irina's face, I feel my face get warmer as I twirl my hair. It'll be pretty lonely without you around, though. I'll miss you. Irina lets out a cute giggle, then gives me that warm smile of hers that I've grown to really love.
And I'll miss you too.
Everyone, make sure all your stuff is on board. It's time to get moving.
Yes, Teach. As the line of dancers quickly file into the bus, I glance at Irina. The reality of her leaving Twin Bells makes me feel something tugging on my heart, making it difficult to say goodbye. But just as I'm about to muster up the courage, Irina leans down towards me. She plants a firm kiss on my cheek, and I immediately feel my face turn bright red once more. Irina. She giggles once more.
I already asked for time off once the tour is finished, so I'll be back sooner than you think. I hope you can show me around the city next time. I'd love to see everything with you.
If you can hear that in the background, I think there's like fireworks, even though it's still bright out. That's weird. Yeah, sorry about the noise. We're gonna have to live with that. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. Irina stands up straight once more, giving me a cheeky smile as I try to save face. Have a safe trip. Be sure to text me when you're at the next hotel.
I will, no worries. Give my best wishes to everyone else for me, okay? See ya.
With a little wave, Irina grabs her things and walks over to the bus. A shocked group of dancers immediately crowd around her, some looking back at me with even more curiosity than before.
Irina, what was that?
Irina, I was joking when I said you found your love, but you're telling me that was real?
Will you all shush and just let me on the bus?
As the excited group finally finds their seats inside, I see Irina giving me one last wave as the bus drives off. I wave back, then hear a notification on my phone. A satisfied sigh escapes from me as I see one last message from Irina on my screen.
See you soon. Love you.
I'll see you soon too, Irina. Take care. Once the bus vanishes from view, I start to walk back home, unable to hold back a smile as I think about Irina's next visit. Cuties. The city of Twin Bells is an often forgotten city with not much to offer. Sure, we have a few sights, but they're nothing spectacular like the bigger cities around us. Despite all that, the people still manage to find ways to enjoy themselves here, making the city livelier as a result. And everyone has some kind of story to tell too, no matter how small it may be. But even without that, there's always someone that ends up enriching everyone's lives in the strangest ways. Touching their hearts and leaving a lasting impact. Truly, Twin Bells would be a boring regular city. If not for the mysterious thief, Forget-Me-Not. Scarlet Rose finished the finale. Okay, is that it? Oh, getting some credits. Nice. I'm not sure if that was already the epilogue or if we're gonna get one more. I think we have still a little to go. But that was really cute. Like the whole game is kind of almost more like slice of life surrounding the thief, the heist, everything in Twin Bells. That's really fun. I liked it. Like with the reunion there with the parents, I almost thought we would get some kind of heist, but yeah, just showing up there as Forget-Me-Not, I guess, is enough, especially since she broke down crying anyway. That was the end, but there, I see it. We now have an epilogue, so let's go into that as well.
Kid, if you don't stop pacing like that, you'll dig a hole in the ground.
Sorry. It's been a few months since the ballet left Twin Bells, and time's really flown by since then. We've all been busy with our usual routines, along with all the new things, like Aiden knowing I'm Forget-Me-Not. However, the time I've been super looking forward to until now is finally here. Irina visiting Twin Bells again. Okay, just one thought I have now that Aiden knows about Desiree. Do they need to kind of hold back in trying to catch them, or what? Not that they managed before. She sent me a text that she got to our hotel fine and that she's gonna grab a bus to meet us near the bar. But we've been waiting here for a while now. She didn't get lost, right? Or maybe she accidentally took the wrong bus? And what about me? I remember to grab everything I need, right? Or did I forget something? I then feel something tug at my arm and look to see Crow and that dumb disguise of his again, giving me a smug smile. Oh yeah, we didn't resolve anything with Crow, did we? Poor guy. You're pacing again. Sorry, I can't help it. When he learned that Irina's visit started today, Crow offered to wait with me at the bus stop so I wouldn't be lonely. Although he's mostly just teased me because of how nervous I am. Oh, hey, I see the bus. I turn around in a heartbeat and look in the direction Crow's pointing, and sure enough, the bus we're waiting for is driving our way. It comes to a steady stop in front of us, and amidst the other people slowly trickling out, I see a certain tall, blonde figure that makes my heart skip a beat.
Desiree.
As soon as she gets off the last step of the bus, she runs over to me and wraps me in a deep hug. I hug her back with just as much force, unable to hide just how happy I am. We stay like this for a moment, just happily in each other's embrace, before we space out a bit to look at each other.
I'm sorry I took so long. I missed the first bus because I was unpacking, so I had to wait for the next one to come. I hope you weren't waiting for me here the whole time.
No worries, it wasn't long at all. I'm really happy to see you again. I really missed you, and Amid my stammering, I hear Crow chuckling under his breath behind me. You shush.
Right, of course. I won't tell Irina just how you almost dug a hole with all the pacing you did earlier.
Oi. I pout at him with a huff, meanwhile Irina starts giggling because of our bantering.
I missed seeing this.
I feel a bright blush on my cheeks from hearing her cute giggling, then turn my attention back to her. You said you wanted to visit the bar first, right? We can head over there right now, since it's not super busy.
I'd like that a lot. It'd be nice to see Andre again as well.
Yeah, when he learned you were visiting, he was pretty excited. Shall we? the gang is united again, I guess. I hold my hand out to her, and with a bright smile, she gently gives me hers. We then walk hand in hand towards the bar.
I knew I was gonna be a third wheel today.
Well, you have Andre. Walking into the bar, we're greeted by all the sounds that resonate after the lunch rush. The subtle jazz music playing over the speakers, the TV in the back playing a rerun of the morning news, a small handful of people chatting with each other, the usual things. Irina looks around the bar from where we're standing, before looking over at me.
Even though it's been a bit, the bar still feels the same as it did back in May when we first came here. Although I think it could do with some forget-me-not decor here and there, don't you think?
I play with my hair sheepishly as I feel the blush on my cheeks getting brighter from her flirting.
Well, look who it is.
Interrupting us from the counter is none other than Andre, who looks even more giddy than normal seeing us walk in together. As well, seated on a stool in front of him is Aiden, taking a break from their afternoon tea break to turn and look at us. We walk up to them together, with Irina waving at them happily.
It's nice to see you two again.
Likewise, good to see you liked our little city enough to come for a visit again. That, and a certain someone, of course.
I give Andre the same pout I gave Crow earlier. Not you too. I mean, it's to be expected, right? You cannot expect them not to comment on it. As Andre looks a little too pleased with himself, Aiden gives Irina a polite nod.
It's good to see you too. If anything should come up during your stay, you can seek me out at the precinct.
Thank you, Detective. I'll keep that in mind.
Aiden takes another sip of their tea and gets up, pulling out some money from their wallet and placing it in front of Andre with another polite nod.
Thank you for the tea again, Andre. No worries. Same time tomorrow.
Oh, what? Already leaving?
I unfortunately have a bit to do at the precinct, so I can't stay for long. You all take care now.
As they start to head towards the door, they suddenly stop in their tracks before turning back towards me.
Oh. And have fun on your date. Don't get carried away, though.
Well, you can go now. With a small chuckle, they make their way to the front doors and head outside.
You two have certainly gotten closer since I left, huh?
I know, right? It was a little awkward at first, especially at the last heist that happened, but we've slowly gotten used to how everything is now. I sigh as I stare at the front door. Although I've come to learn that Aiden is much snarkier than they let on. Irina lets out another giggle before we seat ourselves at the counter. Meanwhile, Crow, who's been hovering behind us this whole time, starts heading over to the stairwell to the attic.
I'm gonna go change out of this now. You two have fun down here.
Thanks for waiting with me, Crow. He heads into the stairwell with a wave, and the two of us start chatting away. How was the end of the ballet tour? I got all your texts, but I wanted to hear about it from you in person.
It went pretty well, honestly, although it was much more boring than Twin Bells by comparison. We finished up with our last stops here in the UK, then headed back to Bristol.
Irina then lets out a sigh before continuing.
It was a nice finish to the whole trip, but how normal every other place was just made me miss Twin Bells more. And you especially.
I can't help but sheepishly smile in response, which prompts another giggle from her.
How have things been here, by the way? I saw you had another heist about a month ago. What was it again? The Ocean Sapphire, right?
Yep, that's it. It was a pretty simple heist, honestly. Even a bit boring compared to the Black Swan.
I don't know how you could call that heist boring. It looked so fascinating, even though I was only watching the newsreel of it. especially how you use that huge water tank in the trick.
I feel a slight blush appear on my cheeks as a proud smirk paints my face. Well, you know. That heist was a little awkward though, because of Aiden.
True, it was the first one since they learned who you are.
Yep, though there's such a good actor, he wouldn't even be able to tell that things are different between us now. I let out an annoyed huff, which makes Irina giggle. As we're chatting away, Andre walks up to us on the other side of the counter.
Could I get you two anything to eat? It's just about lunchtime.
We both look up at the nearest clock and confirm that Andre is right, then look at each other.
I'm not too hungry right now. Maybe something a little lighter? Why don't you pick? You know this menu much better than I do.
If you're sure, then how's about... Ooh, crisps and dip, chips and cheese, open-faced sliders. What even is that last one? Is it just like sandwiches, but not like together? Like open? Like bread with something on it? Let's go crisps and dip, why not? We could get some crisps and dip to share. The dip Andre makes here is super good. I'm sure you'll really like it. She looks at them on the menu, then gives me a happy nod.
Oh, that does sound good. Let's go with that then.
I'll go get that ready for you then. Any preferences on the drinks?
I'm good with anything.
Anything non-alcoholic for me.
Andre gives us a quick nod, then heads to the kitchen with a determined smile on his face.
He always looks so happy to cook for others.
That he does. Although, I feel like he's especially happy today because of us. Irina lets out another one of her cute giggles in response.
I won't lie, even though I only visited a couple times when the ballet was here, I've missed Andre's cooking. It'll be hard to not eat here every day while I'm visiting.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it though. In the middle of our chatting, Andre walks back out of the kitchen carrying our lunch to us. He places a large plate with a generous amount of tortilla chips piled high on top of it. Accompanying the edible tower are 3 small dishes filled with various dippings, a rich golden cheese dip, a hearty garden salsa, and a creamy spinach dip. Irina and I each grab a crisp, then proceed to try dipping it into our dip of choice. Try, of course, because we instinctively both chose the cheese dip first, causing us to share a giggle over the coincidence. You're the guest, you can go first.
Why, thank you. Don't mind if I do.
She then takes her crisps and delicately dips it into the cheese, enjoying a bite of it as she lets out a satisfied hum. As we're starting to dig into our lunch, Andre also pulls out something else and places it between us. That something is a large hurricane glass filled to the brim with one of Andre's fruit concoctions. That looks really nice. It has a pair of straws, each pointed at us, and a couple of lemon and lime slices on the rim. Andre then gives us a playful wink.
Can't have lunch without something to drink.
I feel my face turn bright red as I stare at the drink in front of us. Andre... I glance at Irina, who's also looking more red than usual because of Andre's teasing, which ends up making me more flustered than I already am. If you didn't want any teasing, you shouldn't have come here. I think that's what we learned here. I try to ignore it by shoveling more food into my mouth, and Irina follows my lead as both of us letting out happy hums from how good it is. What's up? Irina suddenly shushes me while we're eating, glancing towards one of the booths behind us, and then lets out a sigh. I get curious and decide to try and see what she saw, and that's when I notice some familiar people.
I can't believe the owner brought them a couple's drink. It's basically official now.
And you somehow still had doubts after seeing her kiss them at the bus stop. All huddled together as if they were trying to hide from Irina, and failing at it, were 4 of Irina's fellow dancers from the Pavlova Ballet Company.
It was a cheek kiss. Friends can cheek kiss.
Her face was redder than a tomato, you damn clown. You two, talk some sense into him, please. Along with Adriana and Jacob, 2 people I vaguely remember from the heist all those months ago, were the 2 leads of the company as well, Magdalena and Damien.
Calm down, you two are gonna start a scene. And Magda, stop glaring at them. You've been doing that since we sat down.
Damien gives a sheepish sigh. Meanwhile, Magdalena huffs with an angry pout. I'm just keeping an eye on them, for Irina's sake. She looks pretty happy, though. Maybe we didn't have to use some of our vacay time to babysit her, Miss Team Mom. Oh, you be quiet. I just want to make sure that they don't do anything to Irina. If they do, I'll kick their ass myself.
Irina's gonna feel embarrassed when she realizes we're doing this, you know?
We can apologize to her later. The 4 of them continue to enjoy their own lunch while occasionally glancing at us from time to time. Meanwhile, Irina gives me a shy smile as she lets out another sigh. I'm sorry about them. They mean well, I promise. Hey, it's no worries. I can tell they care about you a lot. Yeah, that's good. That's good they both have their friends that tease them, but care about them. After taking the last bites of our lunch, the 2 of us get up from our seats, Irina giving Andrei a happy nod as we do so. Thank you for the food, Andrei. It was delicious.
You're welcome. Glad you liked it. I hope you two have fun on your date.
He gives us another playful wink, and I grab Irina's arm and start walking out with her as my face shines as bright as a traffic light again. Goodbye, Andrei.
Take care.
Oh boy. The 2 of us step outside onto Sidewind Avenue. The hand that was grabbing her arm is now gently holding her hand as I look up at her with a smile. So, what did you want to do today? We can go anywhere you'd like.
I booked a whole 2 weeks for this vacation, so for today, I think I'd like to revisit some places from the last time I was here, to help ease into it, you know? I can't decide between going to the museum or Ramona's first, though. Why don't you pick?
Are you sure? It's your time off. It's your time off.
I'm absolutely sure. Besides...
Another faint blush appears on her cheeks as she continues.
Anywhere is fine, so long as I can spend as much time with you.
I can feel even my ears turning red this time. You really like teasing me, don't you? She gives me a cheeky giggle as a way of responding. But alright, if you're sure, let's go to... I'm gonna say Ramona's just because we missed out on that the last time with Aiden, so yeah, Ramona's. Ramona's. I'm certain she'd be super happy to see you again.
Let's make our way over then.
We walk hand in hand up Sidewind Avenue, taking our time to continue chatting and looking around the area as much as we want. Soon enough, we end up right in front of Miss Ramona's shop, and a certain cutie strolls up to us from the alley next to the store for attention.
Hello again, Marigold. It's nice to see you again.
Irina kneels down and starts scratching little Marigold's chin, which she's practically giving her as Marigold lets out even louder purrs than usual. I can't help but stare at the bright smile Irina has on her face right now, feeling a smile of my own appearing on my face as I watch her. Looks like Marigold missed you too. She's being extra affectionate today.
She certainly is. Part of me wants to just stay here and pet her all day.
Understandable. Irina slowly gets back up and Marigold gives her legs a gentle rub before returning to her usual spot.
Gosh, she's still so cute. I kind of want a cat of my own now. I think we've loitered around here enough, however, so why don't we head inside now?
She holds her hand out towards me and I gently take it, interlocking my fingers with hers. After you. The bell hanging from the door welcomes us inside as we step into the familiar shop full of flowers and greenery. The subtle scents from the plants envelop us, and we see Ramona near the register give us her signature smile. Well, hello there, you two. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? It's good to have you back in Twin Bells, my dear.
It's good to be back. How have you been, Miss Ramona?
No need to be so formal. You can just call me Ramona. And it's just been the same old here. A certain someone's been so sad and lonely ever since you left, however. I clear my throat to quickly interrupt her, as I can immediately tell where she's going with this. Anyways, was there something you wanted to get while you were here? Because the two of us can help you if you'd like.
Well, other than saying hello to Ramona, I did want to see if there was anything I could get for my mother as a gift while I was here. Is it alright if I look around a bit?
Take your time. I'll be here at the front if you need anything. She gives us one more smile before getting back to what she was working on behind the register. We then start to slowly walk around the shop as Irina looks over everything thoughtfully. What were you thinking of getting for her?
I'm not too sure, honestly. Even though my mother can be a bit hard-headed at times, she still has a soft side to her, so I know she'd love anything from this shop.
Your mother sounds interesting for sure.
Irina lets out a little laugh at my comment. That she is. I'm sure the two of you would get along well, should you ever meet.
She continues looking around at all the different plants Ramona has on display with that thoughtful look on her face. You know, the mood's kinda good. Maybe I can try to flirt or don't. Come on. We kind of had Irina do a lot of the work so far, I think, so sure, try to flirt. I quickly psych myself up and then turn my attention to Irina. You know, Irina, while all the flowers in here are beautiful, they're not as beautiful as you are. My hand immediately flies up to my forehead to smack it, as the embarrassment instantly hits me after I say those words. Meanwhile, Ramona's bracing herself against the front counter, trying her hardest not to fall over from how hard she is laughing. Dee, please, you're gonna kill me here. My face turns even redder because of how hard she's laughing. Irina, on the other hand, gives me a soft smile along with another one of her cute giggles.
I thought it was very cute.
I sheepishly play with my ponytail and avert my gaze as Irina plants a soft kiss on my cheek. Thanks, but I want it to sound cool. I bring my attention back to Irina, who continues to look everything over carefully. Anything catch your eye yet? She sighs and shakes her head.
Unfortunately not, at least not anything I could bring with me all the way back home. I'd get her a plant, but I'm worried about trying to transport it.
Just then, Miss Ramona walks towards us carrying something in her hands. If you're still looking, may I suggest these? She holds up several bookmarks, each one with a different pressed flower decorating the front of the ornate laminated paper. I got the idea to add these to the store after cleaning up some of the plants from last season. What do you think? Would your mom like something like this? Irina delicately takes a handful of them from Ramona and looks them over with a sparkle in her eyes.
Oh, these are so cute! She'd absolutely love these. Let's see.
After sorting through all the ones in her hands, she pulls out 2 of them from the batch.
I'll take these two. This one will be for my mother.
She holds one up to show us as she explains, a bookmark with some pressed clovers on it.
And this one will be for me.
She shows us the other one, and I start to play with my ponytail sheepishly. On this one were some pressed forget-me-not flowers, which I can't help but notice her smiling softly towards. Oh, what a good choice! Don't you agree, Dee? You shush. The three of us walk to the register, and after paying for the bookmarks, Irina turns to me with a smile.
When I left last time, I was a little sad I didn't get myself anything to remind me of you. But with this, I finally have something.
She puts the bookmarks into her purse, then gives Ramona a happy nod.
Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome, dear. I hope you enjoy your time back in Twin Bells. My door's always open to visit. Man, with how many people she has, to go to, with her worries, with anything, she won't know where to go to when the time comes. After waving goodbye to Ramona, the two of us walk back outside hand in hand. As we step back outside onto Sidewind Avenue, we each check the time. We didn't take long in the shop, so we can still go to the museum today if you want.
Sure, I'd like that.
We take a bus up to the heart of the city, walking a little bit before we reach the Wilkinson Museum of Art and History. Due to the time of day, and because it's a weekday in general, we were able to buy our tickets and walk into the main exhibit hall in no time. We wander around the general exhibits, since there aren't any events happening at the moment, now that the Ocean Sapphire exhibit ended. It's a shame your trip happened right after the last exhibit ended. I would have liked to see it with you.
It did look interesting, but no worries. I didn't get to see the rest of the museum the last time I was here, so this is still pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask. Did the ballet company even get a chance to take a look at the exhibit the Black Swan was featured in? You all seemed pretty busy.
Actually, the entire company was invited to an exclusive tour before the exhibit opened to the public.
Irina thinks to herself for a moment, then laughs a little before continuing.
It was actually on the night of the heist.
I avert my gaze with an embarrassed chuckle. Sorry that I interrupted that.
No worries. It actually wrapped up before your show started.
Amid our chatting, we see a certain duo enter the exhibit hall, with an entourage of security following. They notice us and walk over to where we are, one looking much more jovial than the other, as usual. I was wondering if we'd get to see them again.
Well, hello there. It's nice to see you, Desiree. And a good day to you too. You were one of the ballerinas from Pavlova, correct?
That's correct. I'm honored you remember me.
As Sir Wilkinson lets out one of his usual deep chuckles, Max, who's been standing off to the side this whole time, gives Irina a polite bow.
It's wonderful to see you again, Miss Lebedev. It's truly an honor that you chose to visit our humble museum again.
He tries to get closer to give Irina a handshake, but I quickly step in between them, much to his dismay. Wow, I'm so honored to meet Maximilian Wilkinson in person by chance. But aren't you super busy right now? We'd hate to bother you when you're so busy and can't stay for too long.
I'm actually not too busy right now.
I said we'd hate to bother you when you're so busy.
I just remembered I had something to do. Take care now.
Max gives us another bow, then Speed walks away from us. I stick my tongue out at him while he's not looking, which makes Sir Wilkinson let out another deep chuckle.
Don't be too mean to him now.
I'll try. Will you, really?
By the by, how are your parents lately?
They've been good, slowly getting used to life in Twin Bells again. I I spot the confused look Irina's giving me out of the corner of my eye. Ah, Sir Wilkinson's old friends with the Commissioner and my papa. Even I had no clue about it until a while ago. I mean, it all makes sense, doesn't it? Even without the whole thief thing. I mean, how big is this town?
Oh, that's right. Jean-Jacques and I have known each other for many years now, so I'm thrilled to see him and his wife back in the city. But that's enough from me. I'd hate to interrupt you two any further. I hope you enjoy your time here.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Sir Wilkinson gives us a cheerful wave and walks towards the security officers who are waiting for him nearby.
It's never a dull moment with you, now is it?
Hey, come on now. Irina gives me a cheeky laugh, and the two of us continue wandering around the exhibit hall. We say nothing for a while, simply enjoying the pieces at our own pace, as I then think to myself, it's just the two of us right now. Try to flirt or don't. We're taking every chance we can get, no matter how it goes. It's worth a shot. I gently hold Irina's hand to grab her attention.
Yes?
All these pieces are pretty impressive, huh? They're all super valuable too. But I think that, compared to them, your smile is so lovely that it's priceless. I immediately bury my face in my hands, feeling the embarrassment hit me like a truck the second I stopped speaking. Irina, with a light blush painting her cheeks, lets out a giggle in response, but I also hear someone else chuckle nearby.
You truly do take after your father, don't you, Desiree?
Well, My face gets even redder in response, which makes Irina's giggle from earlier turn into a loud, joyous laugh.
Your flirting always seems to end up like this, doesn't it? But I think that's part of what makes you so cute.
Now you're just teasing me. With another giggle from Irina, we hold hands once again, continuing our stroll through the museum. The thing is, yeah, it kind of always ends in a disaster. But Irina likes it, so it's fine.
This whole time, I've actually been thinking about the night of the heist. It all happened pretty fast, but honestly, thinking about it again while looking around made me realize some things.
Oh? Like what?
Well, for example,
Irina points towards the skylight.
At the end, during all that chaos, you were able to take me all the way up to the rooftops. You even carried me in your arms up there. Even though you're shorter than me, you're much stronger than you look.
I give Irina a proud smirk as I playfully flex one of my arms. I may look scrawny, but I'm pretty confident in my strength. I could even carry you around some more, if you'd like. A pink blush appears on Irina's cheeks as she averts her gaze with a smile.
I'll keep that in mind.
We continue looking around the museum to our heart's content for a while longer, taking our time to enjoy the pieces and each other's company. After walking all around the museum, we step back outside, checking the time to decide what to do next. We still have some time left in the day. Is there anything you'd want to... A sudden text message interrupts me, and I look back at my phone to see that it's from Papa of all people.
Heard about your little date. Hope it's going well. If you two have time, why not stop by for a quick visit?
I show the text to Irina. Seems like my parents want to meet up. Is that alright with you? I can text them back if you'd rather not. Irina shakes her head.
I'd be alright with meeting them. Besides, I'm sure they're quite curious to learn more about the two of us.
That's putting it lightly. But alright, if you're absolutely sure. I quickly send him a reply, then tuck my phone away. We then start to make our way to the northern part of Twin Bells, walking a bit faster than we did earlier to not keep them waiting too long. Again, is it that stage, meeting the parents? Well, to be fair, they have been out of Desiree's life for a while, so they'd want in on everything right now, right? Eventually, we make it to my childhood home in the northern part of Twin Bells. We're both standing at the front door, but I start to feel a bit nervous thinking about my parents meeting Irina for the first time. Maybe we can call this off and say we're too busy today.
You were ready earlier. What happened?
The realization that I'm technically having my parents meet my girlfriend for the first time hit me in the face. I stare at the door, which now feels like it's looming before me, before I turn around in place. You know what? I'll text them that we're too busy. Let's just... Before I can even take a single step, Irina knocks on the door in my stead.
I'll be the brave one for you, don't worry.
Thank you, Irina. I turn back around and firmly hold Irina's hand as the front door opens and we're let inside. Inside the comfy space I know and love, we're greeted by my mama, who's giving us one of her bright smiles.
Welcome, you two. My, you really are quite tall.
Irina lets out a shy giggle.
I get that a lot.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
After Mama gives me and Irina each a hug, we proceed to make ourselves comfortable on the couch.
My husband will be out in just a moment. Could I get you something to drink while we're at it?
I'm fine with just about anything, thank you.
Of course, I'll be back in a bit.
Before she leaves, Mama gives me a smug smile.
We were wondering when we'd finally get to meet the person our daughter's been absolutely over the moon about. I was afraid we'd have to wait a few years with how Desiree was being.
Mama. She lets out a cheeky giggle, then heads over to the kitchen. Soon after she's out of the living room, Papa appears from the stairwell with a big smile of his own.
Hope I didn't keep you two waiting too long.
Papa comes over and gives me a big hug, then offers a handshake to Irina.
It's nice to finally meet you. You can just call me Jean-Jacques.
Thank you for inviting me. It's wonderful to be here.
He takes a seat on the couch with us, and soon after, Mama walks back out of the kitchen with our drinks. She puts 2 cups of tea in front of us, then one for herself and a cup of coffee for Papa on the other side of the coffee table, before taking a seat next to him.
Apologies for suddenly calling you over on your first day back, but we were simply quite curious to finally meet you.
No worries. After hearing about you two from Desiree, I felt comfortable visiting today.
Well, now I'm curious what exactly she told you.
Only good things, I promise. This gets a laugh out of the 3 of them.
I hope you don't mind us asking how this all started.
I don't mind. What about you, Desiree?
Me neither. I guess we'd start at the ballet. I start to recount everything that happened to my parents. From watching the ballet's opening show and being mesmerized by Irina on stage, to the Black Swan heist, to his meeting at their suite in the dead of night. I go over everything I can think of, with Irina filling in with her own moments throughout. As we wrap up, I notice the odd look Mama has on her face. What is it? She lets out a deep sigh, then shakes her head as she stares at Papa.
How is it possible for her to take after you so much?
Papa lets out a deep laugh in response. Meanwhile, I'm left even more confused. Come on, put 2 and 2 together.
How familiar is Irina with our, how you say, family history?
Family history? Oh. Yeah, Irina knows you're the Scarlet Rose. Irina and I both let out cheapish giggles.
That's right. I accidentally overheard Crow explaining everything before. My apologies for that.
No worries. Honestly, it makes explaining things easier. But anyways, what's made your mother so mopey is that your story is so similar to how we met.
What? You're kidding, really? I wish we were kidding. Even down to the rendezvous on the balcony, you two continue to be so identical. Mama sighs again with a pout as Papa plants a cheeky kiss on her cheek. I will admit, however, it is pretty romantic.
That it is.
Irina and Mama giggle together. Meanwhile, I feel a blush glowing on my cheeks as I drink my tea. Mama then turns to me with another smug look on her face. Although, I guess you don't completely take after your father. At least, not after I heard what you said at Ramona's earlier. While the flowers in here are beautiful, they're not as beautiful as you, huh? Well, how do you know about that? Mona told me. She was practically on the floor as she was remembering what you said over the phone earlier. Mama starts laughing as I let out an angry huff. Oh, she really can't get away from any of this, no matter where she is, even if the people aren't there. That's hilarious. Irina gives me a gentle smile, although I can tell she's holding back her own laughter.
I thought it was very cute.
She plants a tender kiss on my cheek, and I pout with my face turning bright red once again. Papa then lets out another chuckle as he turns towards us.
You do still have a bit left to learn. Now, what was it again? Ah, right. Compared to all these pieces, your smile is so lovely that it's priceless.
My jaw would probably be on the floor right now if it could fall that far, as I feel the color drain from my face hearing Papa recount what happened at the museum. Well, how did you... My reaction gets another deep laugh out of Papa.
I was quite surprised when I heard about it, but I suppose Sir Wilkinson must have also thought it was quite amusing.
Sir Wilkinson? I hide my face in my hands, vividly remembering how he chuckled after hearing my attempt at flirting earlier. At the same time, Irina gently pats me on the back. I'm gonna perish right here on this couch.
But I love your flirting. It's cute.
I was trying to be cool, though. As the giggling subsides, my parents then turn their gazes towards us and give us tender smiles.
Teasing aside, we are glad seeing just how happy the two of you are together.
That's right. While your relationship is in its early stages, we hope that you two continue to have the same amount of love for each other as time goes on. Irina and I look at each other, giving each other the same tender smile, then gently hold hands. Papa then checks his watch, visibly surprised by what time it is.
The time's really flown by. It feels like we've barely started talking, yet it's almost time for dinner. If you two don't have any plans, why not stay a bit longer and have it with us?
That sounds good to me. What about you, Desiree?
Sure, that's fine by me. The four of us get up from the couch and head to the kitchen as we decide to work on dinner together. Oh, lovely. Several hours later. The time feels like it flew by while we were with my parents, since we stayed over for dinner and continued to chat with them for several more hours after that. We didn't end up leaving until it started getting dark, and now Irina and I are unwinding at her hotel suite.
Your parents were as interesting as you said they were. I almost wanted to stay longer and listen to them some more.
Papa's pretty good at telling stories, that's for sure. The way he would go on about the Scarlet Rose when I was little made me feel like I was actually there at the heists. Well, that makes sense now, doesn't it? Although, now I understand why. We both share a laugh, and I gently lean on her shoulder. She then wraps one arm around me and rests her head on mine. The past few months have made me realize just how much I missed them. Even the first time I got to stay over for dinner after they moved back made me so emotional. I didn't realize just how much I wanted that kind of normal life back.
From seeing how happy they were tonight, it's obvious they feel the same way, maybe even more so.
That's true.
I did want to ask, however. How come you're still living in the attic with Crow? I thought you would have moved back in with them.
You'd think, right? But it's actually something that I thought about for a while now. The past few years I found myself wondering what I'd do if my parents suddenly moved back to Twin Bells. Early on, I did want to move back in, but as time went on I realized that I was starting to feel a bit cramped there. I give Irina a big smile before I continue. I'm actually thinking about moving out of the attic to a place of my own. Miss Ramona's been helping me look around for any flats near where she wants to move the shop to. It'll take some time, but I'm looking forward to it.
That's wonderful. Let me know if I can help in any way. Moving out on your own for the first time can be a bit overwhelming after all.
Sure thing. Irina's soft smile changes into a look of concern as she continues.
About you feeling cramped, though, is that because of your grandfather?
It's that obvious, huh? I let out a deep sigh as I sink further into Irina's embrace. I know that he'll learn and forget me not eventually. That's something I can't ignore forever. But I just don't know. Mama and Papa have said that he started to ease up a bit, but that doesn't mean anything to me after the years he spent making me feel like garbage. The past few years have helped me finally understand myself, so I'm worried that he'll ruin that for me when he finds out. I look up at Irina and give her an apologetic smile. Sorry for unloading all this on you suddenly. Irina holds me tighter in response.
Don't apologize, I don't mind at all. I'm glad that I can lend an ear in moments like these, so don't feel bad for doing so. I admittedly was worried about you concerning that. I just didn't know how to ask.
Thank you, Irina. A soft blush lights up my cheeks as I play with my ponytail. I then sit back upright and turn to face Irina. I'm always open to do the same for you, you know. I know how hard it is to open up, so I don't mind waiting for when you feel more comfortable. I waited almost 5 years for Papa to tell me about a secret, so being patient isn't anything new to me. She blinks in surprise for a moment before letting out a cute giggle.
I guess I'm also a bit predictable. Thank you for being patient, though.
She sighs deeply as she looks out at the balcony with a thoughtful gaze.
It's been so many years since I was in my last relationship, and I've even moved countries a couple times since then. But everything I went through has just stuck to me ever since. Like a scar that refuses to heal, I'm always reminded of those years. Because of everyone around me, like my parents and my uncle, to even my friends in the ballet company, I have been slowly healing. But
she looks back at me with a sad smile.
I just wish I could heal a bit faster. I feel like I'm inconveniencing everyone.
This time I gently wrap an arm around her, and she takes it as an invitation to lean against me with a sigh.
You know, part of what's been helping me heal more as of late is being with you. After all of that, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to have another relationship, or if I could even fall in love again. But being with you has made me feel comfortable again, so thank you. I'll slowly be getting used to everything again. Thank you again for being patient.
I wrap both arms around her to give her a gentle hug. Of course. Being with you makes me really happy, so I never want to do anything to make you feel uncomfortable. I can feel another blush sneaking onto my cheeks as I start saying what's on my mind. But you know, despite that, you can be pretty cheeky sometimes. Like back at the bus stop when you all were leaving. Irina laughs, then looks at me with a cheeky smile.
I won't lie, teasing you has also helped me feel more comfortable. Back then, that was as far as I could go. Sorry if you were hoping for something more.
No, it's fine. I probably would have melted right then and there if we went further. We laugh together this time, then gaze into each other's eyes thoughtfully. On that note, though, how do you feel, now?
That depends. Would you feel comfortable if we took it a step further?
I don't hesitate to give her a nod in response. She then glides her hand over mine to hold it gently as I bring my other hand up to her cheek. Closing our eyes, we bring our lips together as the rest of the world seems to vanish when we do. We gently knead them together, albeit a little clumsily, but we slowly learn to match each other's rhythm. I didn't get what some people meant when they described someone's lips as tasting sweet, but as I kiss Irina, I finally start to understand. This tender sweetness that feels like it's wrapping around me gently, that's what this feels like right now, and I'm left wishing this moment could last forever. We slowly pull apart and give each other soft smiles after catching our breath. Irina then looks up at the clock on the wall and reacts to what time it is.
Is it really that late? I'm sorry I kept you so long.
It's alright, I don't mind at all.
I'd hate to see you head back to the attic in the middle of the night though, so why not stay over?
She pauses, then her face suddenly lights up as she averts her gaze bashfully.
I mean like a sleepover. I didn't mean anything else, I swear.
I can't help but laugh at how cute she's being right now. If you're okay with it, then sure, I'd be happy to stay over. I can just send Crow a text that I'll be back in the morning. I then think for a bit before giving Irina one more soft smile. Since I'll be here longer though, could I kiss you again?
Of course.
We close our eyes once more and share another kiss, getting more comfortable and familiar with each other as we do so. The rest of the night slowly fades out like a light as the two of us continue to share stories with one another and trade soft kisses. As we lay in bed, locking hands with one another, we slowly fall into a deep sleep. Epilogue end. And that is it. Cute. Yeah, so again, the whole the main storyline was more about everything going on in Twin Bells really, and only the start of their relationship, and then we have a little more romance in the epilogue. Cute. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And again, it was pretty much linear, and the only choices we had were some like food choices and stuff, which I also think is cute, and the few point and click screens. Yeah, really fun, cute game. So I don't think I have that much more to say about this. Do we have any more extras here? Oh, we have some profiles, that's nice. Okay, not gonna read these out, but you can read these in your own time. Just gonna leave these on the screen. Cute artwork as well. Oh, she's 185. Okay, yeah, that is quite tall for a girl. Yeah. What else is there to say? I don't think I have much more to say than this. But yeah, I had fun with the game. I hope you did too. But that's it from me for today. As always, I'd appreciate if you'd let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time with a different game. Bye bye!